Good morning, everybody. I hope this video finds you well. Today, I want to talk a little bit about, I want to talk about a couple of subjects. I'm going to break it up into a couple of videos. But in this particular video, I want to talk a little bit about the stuff out there in internet land, distractions. I want to talk about distractions. The internet, especially in the West, has given everybody a voice. And many of those voices are bullshit. They're the crazy guy who would get a soapbox. It used to be wooden crates. And they would stand up in the public park and they would pronounce how the world was going to come to an end. Of course, that was a long time ago. That was a long, long time ago. And today we have the internet. So I want to talk in this video about distractions. Cutting out the crazed people who are in the soapboxes. Cutting out the advertisements and everybody trying to make a buck. I want to talk a little bit about cutting away the bullshit and getting to the meat of the matter. I want to talk about going to a restaurant, sitting down and eating what you want to eat, free of all these distractions. Because the internet is, at least in the West, is based upon the lie that everybody has an equal voice and therefore everybody their things that they say have equal value. It's not true. It's not true at all. A 6-year-old pontificating about the importance of nuclear war doesn't have the same degree of importance as, say, a 70-year-old nuclear weapons researcher. Okay? Fact check. A lot of people stumble onto the website. They visit the YouTube videos. Some even show up on Patreon. Maybe. I don't know if anybody shows up on Patreon like this, but they arrive not realizing where they're actually at. They don't realize what they have. It's like a young kid whose first girlfriend is this beautiful, beautiful model. And he doesn't appreciate her because, well, he's never dated anybody else, so he has nothing to compare it against. Those of you who have traveled the internet know what a jewel metallic man is, what MM is. You've seen it. So I've got a lot of long-term people, long old-timers who have come across and they see the Oasis for what it is. You do not pump out this kind of in-depth information at such a prodigious rate just throwing it out of your ass, okay? And that's partially one of the points that I want to make. You have to look at what you've got. And so this discussion here is going to talk a little bit about something I've said over and over again, and it's really hard for me to vocalize a singular title on. But essentially what it is you've got to cut out the disinformation. You just got to cut out the disinformation. If you come on in here and you come to MM, you come to the website, you come to the YouTubes, you come to a Patreon and you are trying to find as some kind of bridge to this preconceived idea of what you have based upon what you've read on the internet, you are going to fail. You are just going to flat out fail. This is the real deal here, people. This is it. I'm telling you the way it is, at least the way I understand it. You're not going to find anybody else who's got a direct connection to a domain. You're not. I don't care what they're saying about they've got this ability to communicate to spirits, and they've got this and that. Everybody's on their own different wavelength and their own path, and good for them. But this is the closest you're going to get. So I got another guy. It happened yesterday. He's Patreon. He's a patron, and he wanted me to comment on this other guy who claims to be an aerospace engineer and all this kind of stuff, and this and that and this and that and this and that. People, if you feel bad about something, it's bad. If you feel good about something, it's good. If it helps you on your path, that's great. There are no set signposts in this world unless you make them yourself. It's your template you're on. You created it. Sure, your higher energy self, the Manteds, helped weave it together. You approved it. Your consciousness, you're on your template. And these things that you're seeing are all signposts on it. Events, people, places, things that help push you into a certain direction. Some of them are crazy guys pontificating on soapboxes. Other ones are just rude criminals that are trying to make a buck off of you. Still others are kindly people that are trying to help you along the way. Accept them for what they are. They are signposts, events on a path that you are walking alone. It doesn't matter what I think. People ask me, and this patron asked me, what do I think? I don't know what the hell this guy is. Never saw him before. I'm looking on the website. I watch the video. I see this long-haired, bearded guy, white hair, in a cluttered room. What does that tell me? It tells me he has no fucking discipline. He's an introvert with zero social skills. That's what it tells me. My first impressions are poor. People don't have to live my life. They can live whatever your lives you guys want. It's okay. But then when he opens his mouth and he starts talking about this stuff, man, oh man. If it's a signpost that helps you on your way, that's a good thing. But my bullshit meters were pinging off the chart, okay? And does that mean anything? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Because my bullshit meters are pinging doesn't mean that yours aren't. Maybe he's saying things that resonate with you. And therefore, he's important to you, not important to me. So what I have to say about the matter doesn't matter. I talk about a lot of stuff about going on in China because that's where I fucking live. I live in China. So I have things to say about it. I also have things to say about the United States because I used to live in the United States. So therefore, I have valid things to say. But, ask me about what's happening in Italy, and I don't fucking know. I really don't know. I can report what certain people have said. I suppose I could do that, and sometimes I do that, but I don't really know. And so the point of this diatribe, good word that, is the most important thing that long-term viewers of MM completely and absolutely understand, but newcomers don't quite get it. You all have to turn off all the stuff in the back there before you can get any information out of MM here. I don't care what so-and-so says of Zeta Ruculi. I don't care about Alex Jones and reptilian mind control stuff. I don't care because it's not real. It's not part of my reality. It's nothing I know about. I had a person who got on the site. I had to ban them. They're asking me all kinds of detailed questions about my background, and they showed a complete misunderstanding of what shadow people were and all this. They're trying to piece things together and try to fit, and then they were adding all this kind of other internet lore in my stuff and trying to make this stuff fit together. And I told them once, then I told them twice, then I told them 3 times, and then I banned them, because you cannot take my experiences and somehow use it as a glue to put all of these disjointed bullshit narratives that are in the internet out there together. You can't. It doesn't work. There's disinformation, intentional disinformation put out by the United States government. That's a fact. There's also people who are just pontificating with their own thoughts and opinions about internet lore that don't have a clue about anything. That's a fact. There's profiteers that are just making just all kinds of stuff to make some kind of a buck. That's a fact. Look, guys, Patreon, Patron. I have to have some money because it has to have some value. Okay, but it's not like the money I make here makes or breaks my standard of living. It doesn't. Okay, I have bigger things going on. The purpose of this money is, if you're not willing to put some cash down for what I'm doing, then you don't appreciate what you've got. That's it. A measure of your utility and appreciation is formed by your wallet. This is not a for-profit venue, though you might think it is. It makes a little bit of money. Enough, I hope, so far it hasn't reached that, to pay for the costs to put it up on the internet. Okay? It takes my time, costs money, and I've given this stuff out here freely for a long time. People have thrown me some money here and there, and I appreciate that. But people, if you're paying money, then you don't want to add. If you go to an expensive restaurant, even if you've got a discount coupon and you're in that expensive restaurant, do you want to pick up dog turd on the street and put it on your expensive plates? Of course you don't. Then why are you doing it? Jeez, people. Which brings me up to another subject that I was actually going to make a completely different video about. Maybe I'm going to do this. I'm not quite sure, and that's being sensitive. The first thing you have to understand is everybody is different. I've said it so many times over and over again. Everybody's different. Just because we look alike, just because there's basic standards of eyesight, basic behavior patterns of manners and actions, basic categories of how we hear sounds, basic categories of what we're able to smell, how we're able to taste, doesn't mean that that's all there is. Those are the basic categories that are common to most humans, but it's not all that there is. Some people can hear far better. They can hear like dogs. Some people can smell far better. Some people can see colors that us others cannot. It's true. It's called sensious. There's a word I can't pronounce, but yeah, it's called that. Okay. And the same goes for extrasensory perception. We call it ESP because it doesn't fit. It's not a skill that everybody else has. Bullshit. Everybody has different levels of skills. Many on the extrasensorial perception are very low precisely because they were never cultivated. They were never taught. The users were never taught that they existed or how to improve upon them. The best way to do that is to learn when you're very, very young. Back in the East, we had people learning meditation and other techniques of the Orient, and they became quite adept at it. That's true over in Europe and through South America and everything. There's groups of people that have taken these extrasensory perceptions and heightened them through various learning programs. We have now oddballs that are able to do things on their own. For instance, lucid dreaming. To most people, it seems like a fantasy, but it's a real thing. They've measured it in the lab. They know something's going on. And the people who experience whatever is physically monitored explain it as lucid dreaming. So there's something going on. Don't you think that maybe you should ask the lucid dreamer what they think is going on instead of discounting it? Well, I don't experience it, so therefore it doesn't happen. And that's the issue here with these pontificating for-profit individuals. It doesn't mean that they don't know what's going on. It doesn't mean that they're automatically a for-profit person or a malevolent person. It doesn't mean anything like that. It means that they, on your path, doesn't have any value. Now, so the individual on Patreon brought this to my attention. So obviously, it resonates. This other person off in internet land resonates to them. Either makes them angry or makes them happy, or does something. Wants my opinion. This is insane. You need to have self-confidence, people. How does it make you feel? How does it make you feel? That's your answer. I have no answers. I tried to feel the guy out. I have bad impressions all the way around. But it doesn't mean anything. That's just me, guys. It's just me. And I don't want to badmouth anybody who I don't really know. Just because a guy has long hair means shit. I used to have long hair before I started getting bald up here. I liked my long hair. I had long flowing manes. Of course, I was in my 20s. Which is why I have a beard. If I am clean shaven, I look like this bald-headed guy. I put a beard on, I don't look so bald anymore. Optical illusion, I suppose, huh? So I don't know about these other folk, but I do know that I'm a sensitive. I have certain abilities, ESP skill sets that I've cultivated over the years. I think everybody has that innate ability. I've got a couple of followers, some of which are very connected to domain, that have some precog abilities. It's very, very, very impressive. I'm a little different because I got an EBP, and I got that through merit. So I'm telling you what I know. Maybe what I know can be of use to you. Maybe what I'm doing can help you in some way. And that's what I really hope. That's what I hope anyways, huh? Now, I'm not bad-mouthing the Patreon guy because he's looking for answers. And we're all looking for answers. I've been where he is right now. Many of you have. You can't badmouth anybody who's searching, who's looking for direction. You can't. We're all looking for direction. And we all come and we're constantly tricked. We're constantly abused. There's people who are constantly trying to steal money from us, take advantage of us in one way or the other. Some of them are really, really damn good at it. I tell you what. So, people who are searching, wanting answers, are easy to be preyed upon. And that's the problem with a lot of you guys out there. You're being preyed upon left and right, these people. You're looking for answers. I can't provide them fast enough, or you're mixing me up with a batch of others in some kind of basket of these top candidates to help you find solutions or answers to your issues. I have no such answers, guys. I can just tell you my experiences and what I know. And what I do know is if you think the earth is a complex place, you haven't seen anything yet, because when you start adding on multi-MWI and world lines to it, it goes off the scale, guys. It's off the charts. And the only way I can describe how these things work is to simply say, you are living a template that you and your man-teds created. A lot of times it'll intersect with other people on their world line paths. And you'll be exposed to them. And it's your duty, yourself, to figure out what to use and what not to use. It's okay. It's okay. And to that, I have to add, you have to trust your gut instinct. Gut instinct is a big term for a basket of extrasensory perceptions. Senses that you have that transcend the physical senses that you have. And this ability to sense things is part of a very important toolbox that you have to be able to figure out what the hell's going on. If you feel something bad or off about a person, then maybe you should stand back from that person. If you feel if there's something icky about me, then by all means, just kind of stand back. It's funny how these things work, That's how bad people, they'll put a nom de jeu, they'll use a black and white cardboard cutout, they'll put it in front of you, and you'll see the cutout, but you won't see the person. It's like China. China's bad, China's evil, bad, bad, evil, bad, bad, evil. That's what you see, you don't see the real thing. So it's a dangerous world out there. You're seeing these cardboard cutouts, these efforts that are all designed to get you off of whatever track you're on. And I don't know what your tracks are. Got some people, they're interested in worldline travel physically, like they can walk into a teleporter and worldline travel. As somebody who's actually done it, be careful what you wish for, guys. That's why I always advocate the best thing to do is just let your mind do the traveling. The changes are subtle and happen over time. You're able to adapt to them. It don't shake you to the core. And the world line I'm on right now is not a pleasant one. The world line I'm on right now is fine for me. The rest of the world is not a pleasant one. Okay? But my template is all about me. And I've controlled that. The rest of the world, that are sharing the template are having some interesting times, some cherry times that's going to affect you all. So let's kind of wrap some of this up and get some summaries on what this is, okay? So the first thing here is that we're all on a path. It's a world-line path upon a template that you were born with and that you created pre-birth, or something that you've been manipulated to follow. You're on this path. Along this path, you're going to see signposts, not necessarily telltales, but signposts that's going to help mold your understanding of the world. Some of it will be a long-haired guy claiming to be an astro or aerospace engineer, and other ones may be some politician who claims to be this and that, who has seen the Word of God. There's all kinds of things like that going on. I can't tell you if they're right or wrong. I have to use my internal sensing ability, my eyes, my nose, my mouth, my ears, and these other senses that I have of various degrees of proficiency to figure out what's going on. I'll tell you one thing, those of you who have done time in prison absolutely have to heighten your non-physical senses, these ESP abilities for survival. It's something you need to do, because you are thrown into the shark tank. That is no shit. Now, once you discern, you're discerning what's going on. You have to be careful not to be led down the primrose path. Some of these people, a lot of the disinformation is designed to have you go round and round and round in circles. Do you remember the disinformation about 5G? Everybody is walking around talking about how 5G causes radiation in brains and stuff. What about the disinformation about 3G? Oh, they're going to cause gas station pumps to explode. What about the disinformation about 4G? Oh no, it's going to cause planes to, navigation equipment to go haywire, and planes are going to start falling from the sky. Remember all the disinformation? 5G, man, Donald Trump. That thing was flying forth because the United States had lost the battle of 5G. Still hasn't gotten it, by the way. American systems, they may call them 5G, they're actually 4G. All they did is they changed the bandwidth. Technology is nowhere near the actual technology China uses. China's now working on 6G, so come on. You're forever playing catch up. Do something new for a change. But that's another story, okay? That's another story for another time. So you've got all this disinformation. You don't want to go down the wormholes. You've got the disinformation stuff. These people might be well-meaning. They're talking and pontificating about their thoughts. But if they're spending 99% of their time in a locked room watching internet stuff while they're getting fat and letting their hair grow long, you don't want to pay attention to them. You need somebody who goes out among people and seeing things as they actually are, people. You don't want to listen to Howard Hughes, okay? For those of you who don't understand, Howard Hughes was a very wealthy man. He was very successful and became very, very rich and powerful in his 20s and early 30s. And then, of course, he lost his mind at the end of his 20s because he had inherited mental illness, and that's what happens. The important thing, of course, is not to allow or follow these madmen. Just because they were successful when they were 25 does not mean that they have anything of value to say when they're 55. Okay? You have to take things as they actually are, as you actually see them, right? So that's, these are my absolute thoughts on this matter. I don't know, I really don't know about what these other things other people experience, because I'm not experiencing them. But if I feel it has value, if it has some help, if it offers help to other people, like PL's discussion about Manted's, DM discussion about lucid dreaming and stuff, I throw it on out there. It's okay. But it doesn't mean that I'm right and they're wrong, or they're right and I'm wrong. It's just another view of looking at a very complex subject. And at that, I want you all to understand that as you're walking on this template through the earth environment, you have to use your senses, spidey sense, to use a term from Hollywood. You have to use your senses to determine where you're at and where you're going. And that's what I do. And you're not me. You're not me. A type of food that I like, you may hate. It's true. I like cho tofu, especially when you dip it in that sweet and sour sauce. You may think it tastes like rotten cheese. We're all different, people. We're all different. I happen to like brisket, done, southern style, briskets. It's just very, very, it's just like the meat just falls off the bone. I love that stuff. But it's not for everybody. I once encountered a very radical vegan, not a vegetarian, a vegan. I didn't even know the difference between a vegan and a vegetarian. There is a difference, by the way. And they got so upset because of me eating things that they felt was repulsive. I was surprised that they would even get upset at me, actually, because they're such a minority. And that's another thing. I get a lot of minorities, not by color of skin, but by minorities by point of view, like flat earth people. And they'll kind of stumble on and they'll plant themselves in and then they'll start pontificating. I don't give a flying fuck. If you are distracting from the overall message, I shoo you away. A number of them are enjoying their time in the cornfield right now. I'm sure it's tasty for them and delicious. All right. So the point of this entire matter is the uniqueness of your own path. The uniqueness of your own path. You have to take it upon yourself to heighten your senses and your internal skills to determine how you survive in this world, and then how you're going to extract yourself from it upon death. It's up to you. I can give you the tools, I can give you the toolbox, but you have to take out the wrench and the screwdriver and actually make the changes and the adjustments. I can tell you, you have to hold the wrench this certain way and the screwdriver turns this way. I can tell you that, but it's up to you to actually physically do it. And all of this aside, there's going to be an exam at the end of this class. It's called death. And when you die, and you're going to be presented with a situation, you have to remember, there's no such thing as time. So you have all the time in the world. Take it. Don't be in a rush for anything. You're going to have a flood of memories and maybe other pals and friends from way back that you're going to start meeting, and you're going to immediately recognize. That'll be a joyous moment. But remember, take a deep breath if you can breathe back in that state. Just relax. Get your bearings. Remember all the tools that I'm giving you right now, and remember that this is your moment. This is your exam. This is your exam. Don't fail it. There will be a series of events that will come. Remember, for you to leave this physical reality, you have to reattach to a higher energy self. Don't let the fear blow you away. You have to reattach to that higher energy self. And when that higher energy self reattaches, it's going to be scary. Don't allow it to be scary. You can do it on your own with your Manted, or you can use another organization. DM has another organization he's part of, or you can be like myself and a few others, domain, and we will just ask for their assistance. But you need to reattach the higher self, or else you're going to go right back to reincarnation, no matter how loving and happy and the memories come back. It's up to you. I can give you the toolbox, but I'm going to tell you this. Chances of another person giving you this toolbox won't happen for another 10,000 reincarnations. So this is a very rare event. Take advantage of it. Take advantage of what you got. And at that, people, I want you to know that as meandering, as fucked up as this entire discourse today was, God, the point is, the uniqueness of your life and the uniqueness of your perceptions will cause the uniqueness of your extraction from this world. At the end of this world, you're going to have a grand final exam. Don't fail it. And I know that there are some that don't understand what I'm talking about. I know this. But I know that there are a few that do. And for those few who understand what I'm talking about when I say the grand final exam, this message is for you. I believe in you. I know you're going to pass this exam. I know you're going to make things happen. I know you're going to do it. I know. And the reason why I know, well, shit. I believe in you. I do. I believe in you. I do.
再次来到了这家酒馆，坐在和往常一样的地方，风吹落桃花带着清甜的香，有些像你的脸微红模样。你不在身边我都已经习惯漫无目的四处流浪，只是风吹起桃花飘进木窗，想起你的背影摇摇晃晃，陈旧漫上我的心房，将所有过往一幕幕回想。那年月下桃花树上，尝过的醇变的酒香，那就像这样我的心事喝酒梦一场，还记得梦里跌跌撞撞，多轻狂说好潇洒往前绝不回头望，再去想谁的地老天荒，猜一句当时年少荒唐，岁月也惆怅，不懂得珍惜如何收藏。若某天你也记起桃花微甜的酒香，能不能回来我的身旁？我以为回到酒馆再坐一厢，就能丢掉那些旧日时光，哪 吹起桃花落在酒上，也不会再想起你的模样。我透过木窗望着月色昏黄，如你最后一眼温柔目光。原来我费尽心思也不能忘，不知你在何处飘向何方。是酒香唤醒我的心事，和旧梦一场，还记得梦里跌跌撞撞，多轻狂，说好潇洒往前，绝不回头望，再去想谁的地老天荒。叹一句当时年少荒唐，岁月也惆怅，不懂得珍惜如何收藏。若某天你也记起桃花微甜的酒香，能不能回来我的身旁？是酒香唤起我的心事，和旧梦一场，还记得梦里跌跌撞撞，多轻狂，说好潇洒往前，绝不回头望，再去想谁的地老天荒。